We've been wanting to come out here as far back as I can remember.
This is kind of like a perfect example of what was traded on the Silk Road.
Going over deserts and mountains, then imagine at the end you could still be plundered by barbarians.
I have to keep reminding myself that this is China. This has been a hell of an adventure.
I'm Jeff Hutchens, and I'm a photographer.
I'm Peter Hutchens, and I'm a filmmaker.
We grew up in China, and now we're going back.
To capture China in its moment of change.
And there's only one way to do that.
To get lost.
Check out all these spices over here.
You can smell them, actually.
Yeah, you really can. Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
这个都是什么？调料和这个
So spices and
Yeah,
tea?
spices and tea. Can we smell it? Can I try this one?
Pete and I are here on a mission. Like everyone else who passes through the ancient city of Kashgar, we're looking for a deal. It's the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, so everyone is out buying new outfits to look their best for the coming celebration. Now we just have to figure out what we're looking for.
In Xinjiang, hats are more than just a fashion statement. They're a reflection of Muslim culture, which surprisingly is the main religion in this part of China.
A man's forehead must touch the ground when he prays, and you can't do that with a brimmed hat.
So they design all kinds of hats without brims or visors, and this market is full of them. Hello. The irresistibly cute kid as pitchman. Don't tell me this hasn't been happening for the last few thousand years, passed on from one generation to the next, and for good reason. It works. What's your name?
Alim.
你现在做什么? Do you have hats?
Hat.
Okay. I think that is definitely. This is the new look for winter.
Yeah.
I feel like really rock star. Do you like it? Do you really like it?
Different.
Why are you laughing then?
You look like kind of one of Donald Trump's wives or something. Okay. All right.
Actually, if you put a little bit of gel in that, and then just kind of flared those out.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
This feels so right. Should I wear it at a little bit of an angle, kind of off to the side, a little more attitude?
Yeah. You know those monkeys, the Japanese monkeys? Like that have, yeah, the hot bath monkeys that have like the red skin and like the really crazy white fur. I totally look like a macaque monkey. I think we're gonna look a little bit more. This is one of the most isolated parts of China, the Xinjiang region. And Kashgar is one of its largest cities.
I mean, this is a region that we have always wanted to go to ever since we were little. And, you know, we haven't been able to for one reason or another, whether it's because this area was kind of off limits to foreigners or just, I mean, it's far too, you know?
Kashgar is just about as far west as you can get in China. And back in the old days of the Silk Road, merchants would breathe a sigh of relief when they rolled into town. The city provided a welcome respite from the heat of the desert.
And Western traders traveling through the treacherous Pamir Mountains would know that their journey had been worth it when they finally reached Kashgar.
Kashgar feels really different. It's not like any other part of China we've seen before.
Yeah, no, I mean, you feel really far away.
Yeah.
And even like the faces and stuff feel far away.
I know.
Like
I know.
if you look around here, no two faces are alike, and you don't see anybody that looks even remotely Chinese.
That's because these people are Uyghurs, more closely related to Turks than the Han Chinese, who make up over 90% of the country's population.
If you look at a map, Kashgar is closer to Moscow and New Delhi than it is to Beijing.
And it played an important role back in the days of the Silk Road, a central location next to one of the few mountain passes camel caravans could get through.
The Silk Road began as a route into China around 300 BC and grew to span over 6,400 kilometers during the Roman Empire.
And for the next few centuries, if the Chinese wanted to get their goods to markets in the Middle East and Europe, a good plan was to go through Kashgar.
Or if Westerners wanted to bring their goods to China, this was a common route they took. And that's why we're here, to retrace some of the most ancient parts of the Silk Road, to get a sense of what it was like in the past, and what's in store for the future.
With so many people coming and going through Kashgar for centuries, the city is a cultural melting pot. But with China's recent surge in modernization, we want to see which traditions are surviving, evolving, or disappearing entirely. One thing that hasn't changed is Kashgar as a commercial center. For those camel caravans heading through the mountains, this was the place to buy, sell, and trade. And a lot of money changed hands in the city's markets and bazaars.
And it's no different today, especially with the fast-breaking festival after the end of Ramadan. This place is crawling with people, and I mean, you see like copper, and you see fruits and vegetables, and
well, it has a real kind of trading feel and stuff, it looks like.
I can't tell who's buying and who's selling, and
I can't tell who's gonna hit me on their motor scooter either. Uh-oh, watch the bus.
The Xinjiang region is kind of like a Chinese version of the Wild West. It was a rough and tumble frontier kind of place, where the men carried swords and knives and knew how to use them.
as our search for the perfect hat continues, we finally find a couple that might work.
I think we've found our hats.
Now to close the deal.
你会说中文?
Can you speak Chinese or English?
Well, that didn't go as planned. Pete and I speak some Mandarin Chinese that we learned as kids living in China, but neither of us speak the local language Uyghur, so we're stuck.
But not for long.
I speak English. Can I help you?
We meet Ali, a local guide who offers us some much-needed help with the Uyghur language.
My name's Ali.
Ali, I'm Jeff.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Jeff.
Can you help us find a hat? We've tried on a few, but we
My
haven't
pleasure.
found...
Here's the one, very traditional, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, please try it.
Okay.
Ali is the kind of man who'd have earned a good living in the earliest days of the Silk Road. A man who spoke other languages and acted as a fixer for people passing through.
Let's call it title hat.
Back then, it was traders and merchants. Today, a couple of American photographers looking for hats.
I think it's this side.
I think you look good. You look like a Uyghur man.
Yeah.
So what else is there to see in Kashgar?
For example, like hats, you mean?
It turns out Ali learned his English watching films. But like many of the people that have lived here for generations, he's Uyghur, and he knows the culture and heritage of Kashgar inside and out.
Is there any chance that you could take us around and kind of translate?
My pleasure, my pleasure. Yeah.
So we've got ourselves a guide for the next few days.
According to Ali, Uyghur men have always been the kind of guys you don't want to mess with. And it's still true today.
This is Yangsar town, which is the most famous and the best place for Uyghur handmade knives.
How important are the knives to Uyghur culture? Are they?
So you see, the Uyghur knives is like regarded the symbol of Uyghur man's manhood.
Oh, so the bigger your knife, the more of a man you are?
Yeah. So if you
I think that
ask,
transcends a few cultures.
okay, thank you. So for example, if you want to use a knife and ask a knife from an Uyghur man, if he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have knife," which is very bad reputation for that person, you know? Yeah.
So if we want to be considered a man here, we need to get ourselves a knife. Is that right?
Right, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And where better to get a knife than a knife factory? Ali tells us this one has been in the same family for generations.
So this is where the magic happens, Ali?
Oh, wow. Check out those sparks. That's awesome.
We better step back a little bit. I already had my shower today.
What is he doing?
Sharpening the knife.
How long does it take them to learn how to do this well?
Bıçakını yasashni o'rganish qanchalik vaqt ketadi? 5 yil ketadi. 5 years.
Well, can I give this a shot?
You just try.
Yeah, when in Rome.
Okay,
When in Kashgar. Can I try that? Can I borrow the specs? And these were the same kind that I was going to get from the optometrist anyways a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Do I look the part? Either that or I could be Kim Jong-il. What do you think? A little bit bigger hair, a little more Courvoisier. Who knows? All right, so I just want to make sure that I don't sit directly on there. Is that right? That would be a little uncomfortable?
Jeff, you'll always have a job here in Yangasar.
I guess so. If this whole photography thing doesn't work out, then maybe this is the way to go.
Ali is taking us to see a sporting event that dates back thousands of years and is a popular pastime for Uyghur men.
After months on the road, the caravan traders were eager for entertainment, and who knows, perhaps a little gambling on the side. Do all Uyghur men take part in this?
When we celebrate our a New Year festival.
So there's no problem with religion or?
Actually, it is Islamic religion. It is forbidden. Yeah, it is forbidden. Yes, you know that let the animals, any animal, let the animals fight each other.
It's very tough to watch. How do you know when one of the cocks wins? I mean, is it fighting to the death?
For example, if the brown cock stops or run away, which means it lost.
Call me sentimental, but there's something about watching two roosters rip each other to shreds that reminds me of the fights Pete and I had as kids. Full of screeching and fury, but basically kind of pointless.
And like the brown bird in this fight, I was the one that ended up bloody for no good reason.
I think I may have seen enough. You guys want to head out?
Yeah.
Having shown us the rougher side of Uyghur life, Ali wants us to check out a more civilized part of his culture. And we're happy to move on.
With traders always passing through the city, the people of Kashgar would have been among the first to hear about new inventions or innovations in something as universal as music.
For Uyghur people, we love music.
Man, Ali, you weren't kidding there.
It's all kind of traditional music instruments.
So like guitars, what else?
Right,
A whole lot different from any other ones.
So everything.
Can I try this one?
Yeah, why not, please.
Okay. Let's see.
Be careful.
Stop. Oh, jeez. I think you just killed a few small animals with that.
You said I could try that. So where do you make these all?
Oh, do you want to see the workshop? Okay, let's go together. Here's the workshop.
So all of the instruments that we saw on display out there, they make them back here?
Yeah, it's all made here, like by hand.
This skill has been handed down to Uyghur craftsmen for generations.
And throughout history, the ability to coax sounds out of inanimate objects has always led to this: the impromptu jam session.
Yeah, I thought that was what I was missing too.
Yeah,
it's just right up there.
I don't don't think we should quit our day jobs, but thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Ali has errands to run, so we're left on our own to find something to eat.
And one of the great things about being in China is the variety of foods to choose from. After all, this is a country known since ancient times for noodles, a whole range of spices, and distilled alcohol.
We find a restaurant that looks promising. Inside, everyone is eating kebabs. It must be the house specialty.
Okay, check out the menu. A quick look over the menu, and we realize we're in over our heads.
We have a whole lot of Chinese characters and Uyghur.
Really?
Yeah.
No English.
No pictures even. Should we just order up the house specialty?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if they have something. I ask her what the house specialty is. She points. I don't even know. Yeah, okay. 可以. 好吃吗? Okay,
Well,
let's
she
do
says
it.
it's good, huh?
All right, here's hoping.
Yeah, exactly.
Since they're Muslims, the Uyghur don't eat pork. So we're pretty sure we've ordered something made out of lamb. Or maybe goat. All the stuff that's been coming by looks so good. Lamb skewers and something else. I mean, it looks great.
All right, here she comes.
Oh, yes.
Looking good.
Finally, our food arrives. The house specialty is
Wow.
goat's head?
Oh my goodness.
We're on our way to meet the Kyrgyz people, who live in the Pamir Mountains, sometimes called the roof of the world. These mountains cross over the western edge of China, on the border of Tajikistan, and will be following pretty much the same path as the silk traders did centuries ago.
This was probably one of the most difficult parts of the journey to the Middle East and on to Europe. A winding trail through snow-capped peaks, where avalanches and rock slides were par for the course.
Ali, how many people would travel together in one caravan?
In one caravan, about 10, 15, 20 caravans travel together, especially on this road. 50, 60, 100 people.
Why would so many people travel together?
Because on this road, especially on the pass, you know, the Konjila Pass, many bandits.
Really? Are there any left today?
Oh, no.
At its full 6,400 kilometer length, a trip along the Silk Road could take traders months to complete. And a quick look at the landscape tells you why. You see those mountains off in the distance?
Yeah.
Ali, these red mountains are incredible out here.
Yeah, so Kulin Mountain, you can see many different kind of color here.
Is that where we're going out there?
Yep, we went the other side of that mountain. That's Gungur Peak.
Ali tells us there's no fresh fruit or vegetables where we're headed. So like ancient traders looking to ward off disease, we better stock up.
This is Opal, so it is a good place to get some fruits. Okay, let's go out to get some fruits.
Oh, they have all kinds of fruits. Asian pears,
Okay, let's
watermelon.
see. Watermelon, sweet melon, apple, grapes.
Okay.
Many different kind of fruits. Oh, yeah, pomegranates
I love
and pear.
pomegranates.
Yeah.
Man, this stuff looks good. Like pretty much everything seems to be in season here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like pomegranate, you said, right?
Yeah, I love
Okay,
pomegranates.
yeah.
And
So what should
what's
we
the
get?
one behind it?
Yeah, it is sweet melon from Kashgar. Very
Okay,
famous.
Let's do it.
Well, let's grab a couple
Yeah.
of pomegranates and a melon and then hit the road again.
Okay.
Hey, Pete, think fast.
I'm not a rugby player.
Yeah,
I'm going long. I'm going long. Over the shoulder.
We still have a ways to go, but as we get closer to our destination, the majesty of the Pamir Mountains becomes evident. Some of these peaks are over 6,000 meters high.
4 hours later, we reach our destination, a small Kyrgyz settlement of yurts near Lake Karakul, where people have been living pretty much the same way for the last 1,000 years. Ooh, it's cold.
Assalamu alaikum. Qanday ahvoldinglar?
Yaxshimisiz.
Havalar yaxshi, balchaqlar.
I hope it's warmer in there.
Thank you.
Yurt, sweet yurt. Pete, I stayed in one of these in Mongolia. You're gonna love it.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Oh, very cool.
Okay.
So it's all wool along the sides?
So very traditional Kyrgyz yurt.
Some of these guys have opted for concrete. Traditional yurts are made out of sheep and camel wool.
The interiors are bigger than you'd expect. And I'm glad to see there's a stove.
Yeah, where do you sleep, though? I don't see any
You
beds.
pull the mats down from over there,
Yeah,
lay them on the ground, and,
Really?
and you're
Right.
out.
on
yeah.
this floor.
Yeah, right.
Seems a little hard.
Yes, it is, but good experience.
Okay, I'm gonna need a lot of mats.
Okay.
Well, let's get out. Let's bring everything in from the car.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this is gonna be nice. I think I can handle this.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you. When they hear that we're both photographers, they insist on taking us to a scenic location to photograph a skill they're well known for: horse riding.
We weren't quite sure what they had in mind. Then all of a sudden, they're off, whooping and hollering.
And for just a moment, I had the sense of what it must have been like back in the old days, when a bunch of knife-carrying horsemen bore down on your caravan, and you had no choice but to fight, or abandon all those silks and spices you've been hauling around for months.
Then, as suddenly as it started, it was over. There were a few final whoops, and then everyone got off their horses and went home to bed.
Which sounded like a pretty good idea to us, since we'd be warned we'd be waking up at dawn. How quickly the time flies when you're sleeping on a cold floor. And they were not kidding about this dawn thing.
It's time to get up. Yeah, please. Peter and Jeff. Yeah, time to get up, guys. Yeah, otherwise you are missing the beautiful scenery of the Mustagata and the sunrise.
The light is amazing, so we grab our cameras and head for the hills.
And there are plenty of hills around Lake Karakul.
Thanks.
Man,
Oh, wow.
let's go up this way.
Looks like it's already up. You see it reflecting off the water there?
Man, this is such a lunar landscape, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
It was this rugged environment that shaped the culture of the Kyrgyz people, a nomadic group who relied on their animals, always looking for new scraps of pasture land for their goats, sheep, and horses.
If you were a Kyrgyz, you dealt with animals all the time, raising them, feeding them, and riding them.
And just like a cowboy, these animal herders had to be expert horsemen.
And just like our cowboys invented games for themselves, like bull riding and lassoing cows, the Kyrgyz play a goat game founded many centuries ago.
All right, guys, would you like to join?
Yeah,
let's,
can we hop on a horse?
Yes, no problem, please. They will help you. Okay.
Neither of us are expert riders, though one of us might be just a little bit better in the saddle than the other.
Or maybe they sensed Jeff's fear because we suddenly realized that we won't be riding alone.
So this is basically polo with a headless goat?
Okay, 2 teams, 1 headless goat, and a goal marker. First team to get the goat to the goal wins. Got it.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, brother against brother. All right.
Toast.
I don't think so.
You guys are gonna get worked.
No, I just learned how to say we're gonna win in Kyrgyz.
What's that?
Utok!
And we're off.
Oh, here we come, here we come. Oh, he's got it between his legs. I hope he's on my team.
You can see where this game is a great way to practice your skills as a horseman. Kyrgyz men get to see who's the strongest and most skilled rider. It's both a game and a centuries-old test of manhood.
It looks like Team A is doing really well off the tracks. Go, Chua, get him.
The score, 0-0, here at Pamir Stadium.
Here we go. Let's block for him. Yeah.
Every once in a while, something seems to be happening, but I have no idea what, or if it's good for my team. Partly that's because I have no idea who's on my team.
Or even where the goal is.
I'm not giving it up.
Finally, probably out of pity, they let me and Pete grab a leg, and we start pulling on it. There's probably some super slick goat game move that I could use at this point, but since I don't know any, I just keep pulling on my little bit of goat leg.
Come on. Never. This is for all the times you beat me up. Yeah! Woo! Utok!
What just happened there?
I think we won.
This is the only place that I will ever play headless goat polo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, you can't just take it anywhere. I'm just wondering if I get the game ball when this is all over. Utok!
We're back in Kashgar to see how a largely Muslim city celebrates the end of Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of sacrifice and fasting. The Muslim religion came to this region centuries ago along the Silk Road.
So this is Etga Mosque, the biggest mosque in China. So on the festival time, now it's Ramadan. End of the Ramadan, we have a big celebration. And 50,000 people.
50,000
Yeah,
people
50,000
throughout
people.
in this square?
Yeah, right.
Wow. I'll have to see that to believe it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
End of Ramadan.
During Ramadan, Muslims are required to fast during the day. At dusk, vendors start preparing food for the hungry worshippers. Everyone is ready to eat.
Oh, wait, here we come.
Okay.
So what are these? These look,
So this is like stuffed bun. We call it samsa.
samsa?
Yeah, it is
Kind of like a
baked in the
samosa
special
sort of
oven.
thing?
Can we try it?
Yes.
And
Is it hot?
It is hot, yes. And it is mixed inside. Beef,
Way too hot.
onion, and a fat mixture.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Yes. Tastes
Smells
good.
like a shepherd's pie
Oh,
sort
really?
of thing.
Wow. That's really
like
good.
it?
Yeah.
We decide to call it a night. Tomorrow is the end of Ramadan, and from what Ali tells us, it starts really early.
Before the sun is even up, the crowds begin to gather. By mid-afternoon, the square is packed. We never knew China had such an active Muslim population.
Officially, the Chinese regime discourages the practice of religion, any religion. But after a number of attempts to wean the Uyghur away from Islam, Xinjiang Muslims continue to find ways to practice their faith.
Today, many Chinese Muslims are pretty much free to practice the religion they acquired over 1,000 years ago. And when the prayers are finished and Ramadan's officially over, it's time to have some fun. That night, we wandered through the streets of Kashgar, watching the city celebrate the end of Ramadan.
You can see everyone's out here.
We'll be leaving for our next stop along the Silk Road in the morning. So this is our last chance to see the city at night.
Near the center of town, we get our first reminder that we're still in China. The bright lights of a central square and a familiar face.
Mao Zedong, the founder of Communist China, stands tall over the city. Muslims, in the shadow of Mao. Would he recognize modern China? We're on a highway, headed south towards the jade capital of China, the city of Hotan.
It's a 500-kilometer trip, most of it on a single highway through the infamous Taklamakan Desert, near the Kunlun Mountains in western China. And you can see why camels would have been useful. This place is just barren. Sand, sand, and more sand.
Man, there's nothing out here. Just hope our Jeep doesn't break down.
Along the way, we drop by to see an old friend of Ali's, a traditional falcon hunter.
Hello. Looks like a serious bird. Hello.
Right.
The falcon is so still here. How do they train the falcon?
They just carry like this for 10, 15, 20 days.
Does his arm get tired?
No.
You got a big muscle right here, big bicep.
Right, yeah, every day. So his arm also trained it very well.
Right. Man.
I don't think he likes me.
Actually, when you think about it, hunting down a rabbit with a bow, an arrow, or a rock is probably a pretty time-consuming business.
So if you can train a falcon to do it for you, why not?
Is he looking around for something?
Yeah, maybe the rabbit.
Oh, go, rabbit, go!
Oh, yikes. Oh, geez.
Oh, I
that
didn't-
scream.
Yeah,
That's-
the crunch is the crunching sound.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, no wonder this glove is so bloody.
Yeah.
Falcon hunting once provided wild game to locals.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow.
Then guns and traps came along. And today there are only a handful of falcon hunters left in these parts. Keeping the practice alive, but just barely. But one part of Xinjiang's culture that's still very much alive is jade hunting, which the Chinese have been doing since the beginning of their history.
And you can still make money at it. So we decided to do a little jade prospecting ourselves, in a riverbed outside the city of Hotan. We've been told that jade is harder than other stones, and rather than the green color that some might expect, it should be white, like sheep's fat. And supposedly it's just lying around here, hanging out with all the other river pebbles. That one's not bad.
Let's see. Maybe. I think if it sparkles too much, though, it's quartz.
All the glitters is not jade.
My tool broke.
Yeah. Put it down. Try with your hands.
We take a couple of nice-looking stones to someone a little more experienced than we are. And it turns out, they're stones.
It's a whole lot of nothing.
He shows us what a real piece of jade looks like. Oh, that's what we should be looking for.
Oh, okay. Tashimawa. Tashimawa.
Well, all right, Tashimawa, which means closer to the water, you moron. Why didn't you say so earlier?
Hey, check this out.
What is it?
There's like 3 or 4 little white ones.
Yes. We are in business.
Okay, this one. No way. Do you think that could be
I was
jade?
just kidding, but holy cow.
Mine's nice and translucent. Yours is like white, like sheep fat.
White as sheep fat, absolutely. That's the mark of good Hotan jade. Look at that.
Yeah. And I have no idea if this is actually jade or not, but I think it's the best shot we've had all day. Yeah, let's hit the market.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. What are you going to do with your half of the million?
Oh, man, I don't even know.
I know first thing is I'm going to buy me a new hoe. To our surprise, the jade market is hopping, with lots of people buying and selling stones.
In ancient China, jade was considered more valuable than gold. Later on, emperors accepted raw jade from this area as a form of tax.
Especially the precious white jade, like the ones we think we've just found.
We've also been told that a piece of white jade the size of a quail's egg can be sold for thousands of American dollars.
Excuse us. Coming through, we got some real jade here, folks. Real jade.
I think I found a good piece of jade. It was shining. What is it? Wait, why is he laughing? Why is he laughing?
Is he not gonna?
That's not what I mean. I don't want him to say.
He said it's
Nothing.
Nothing. What should I do with it?
The jade trader's answer is crushing. He tells us we brought him a couple of common river pebbles.
You give this to that person with some money for service to throw out.
We have to pay you to take the stone.
Yeah, right.
They're laughing. Okay.
All right, we're out of here.
We better go back to the river.
Following our misadventure in the jade trade, we decide to check out another source of wealth in the ancient world, textiles.
This rug-making shop employs about 100 women, who make about 40 rugs a day out of wool and silk.
All the fibers are dyed using natural pigments, like onion skins for yellow, blackberries for purple, marigolds for brown. They're using the same techniques that have been handed down for generations, which means that if a woman who made rugs centuries ago suddenly materialized here, she'd be able to sit down and go right to work.
We'd love to buy a rug, but we're traveling light. But no trip down the Silk Road would be complete without silk. And Ali knows just where to look.
What kind of stuff do they sell here?
You can find everything except chicken milk on this market.
That's great.
Well, Pete, maybe we should get something from Mom while we're here.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. So I recommend you to get some silk because Hutchens is most famous place for silk on the Silk Road.
There's so much to choose from, I hardly know where to start.
Man, look how bright those are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, those blues are nice.
They really pop, don't they?
Yeah. Check this one out. Okay, here we go. Ali? Yes? You have to try this on.
Ollie, you look beautiful. You look absolutely breathtaking.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I really
that looks
do.
good. Can you ask her how much it is?
350, she said.
All right, tell her 200. We can do 200, but we can't go higher than that.
Okay, you get it for 200.
All right. Okay, good.
While I'm sure that my mom will enjoy her scarf, it feels even more special to take a real part of the Silk Road with us, something traders have been doing for centuries.
We've said goodbye to Ali, and we're headed for the final leg of our journey along the Silk Road through the Taklamakan Desert, which is looking more and more inhospitable by the minute.
Imagine trying to cross this like 500 years ago on the Silk Road.
Jeez, that sounds like a nightmare. I think if we really want to know what the Silk Road's all about, we got to ditch the 4x4 and hop onto a couple camels.
Ali said we'd see camels alongside the road, and he was right. Now it's time to hitch a ride.
Oh, look at these guys. This is a motley crew.
Once again, the fact that we don't speak Uyghur poses a problem. But eventually, we get him to come down from his price of 300 yuan.
Final offer. 150. 150. It's okay? It's okay? Yes.
We're loaded up and ready to go. Neither of us has spent that much time around camels, but we're well aware of their reputation for being a bit cantankerous.
I love this guy's fro. Can I touch him? Is he gonna react? Whoa. Very testy.
Jeff, my guy has a bit of foam coming out of the mouth. Is that a problem?
Okay.
Being on top of a camel when he's getting to his feet is a little like riding a roller coaster. Whoa! No way! Your guy's quite the chewer, Jeff.
I know. And his hump's a little loose. Look at this. Hair, beautiful hair.
The camel's gait is slow and steady with little roll. It's certainly not the most comfortable way to travel.
Look at this. Look at those shadows.
Yeah.
Pete, you know the name? Taklamakan Desert means desert that you go in and never come out of, right?
Maybe that's why they have the local legend, the one about the beautiful woman in the desert who lures sleeping men away to their doom.
Hey, that sounds like a pretty good way to go, though.
So, we're going in. Who knows if we'll come out? It's hard to imagine spice merchants spending months slogging over the Taklamakan Desert. I get the feeling that time meant a different thing in the 9th century than it does today. I just couldn't imagine being out here for days at a time.
No joke.
There's nothing out here but dunes.
Yep. Dunes and a camel train. Let's see. I just love how the shadows, you know, fall on these dunes as the afternoon gets later. Everything looks like it has such a creamy texture, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we were out here as part of a, you know, a trading caravan, how long do you think it would have taken to cross, you know, to come all the way from, you know, someplace in the Middle East out here? That would, I mean, it's just a mind-boggling amount of time.
Months. And you're going over deserts and mountains and all kinds of passes. And then imagine at the end, you could still be plundered by barbarians.
I know. That's crazy. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing out here.
I have to say, I'm kind of glad we're doing this today and not 500 years ago. And then, out in the middle of nowhere, we hear a familiar sound.
Is that one of the guy's cell phones?
Yeah.
It's a strange blend of the very old and the very new, and reminds us how much the world has changed since the first caravans passed through these dunes. As the shadows start to lengthen and the sun gets lower on the horizon, we get ready to call it a day. We find just the right place to set up camp. As I build a fire, I can't help feeling like the old travelers of the Silk Road must have felt. A little saddle sore, but struck by the incredible scenery around me. So we decide to break out the cameras. The sun's falling quickly, and there's no better time to shoot, especially when there's nothing except sand and shadows to see. Being in the desert must be a little like being at sea. Everywhere you look, you see the same thing. And even though I know we are just dozens of kilometers from the highway, the sense of being lost in a vast nothingness is pretty powerful. It's our last night in this part of China, so it seems fitting we should spend it under the stars, in front of a campfire.
This has been cool, coming, you know, finally getting to come out here and seeing all of Xinjiang. It's great that we had, you know, we're able to come out here together.
We've been wanting to come out here as far back as I can remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I just remember from being so little and living in China and wondering what this part of China was like.
Yeah.
Not being able to come out here. And finally, we've had a chance to see it. And the coolest thing was to see how much Islam, which came by way of the Silk Road, has just transformed this part of China.
You know, to be honest, I've been pretty surprised to see how much influence of the Silk Road there still is in this area. You know, whether it's food, religion, or, you know, just people's faces. I think what really brought it home to me was at the mosque the other day for the prayer, you know, and just seeing 40 or 50,000 Uyghur Muslims praying there. Like, I couldn't believe that I was seeing that kind of religious display in China. That blew my mind. And that's a total holdover from, the Silk Road having come through here.
And not only there, but when we went up into the mountains and saw the Kyrgyz nomads, and we stayed in the yurts, and we played the headless goat game, whatever that's called. I mean, no one's gonna believe that we threw around the body of a headless goat on horseback. I mean, you can't dream that stuff up. And it's not Chinese, it came from another place. And it's left over from the Silk Road, which passed right through here.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really tell. I think the people in this area had to be so strong to survive.
Yeah.
And so they've got this very unique feel to them. And I hope it's not our last time.
Yeah, this has been a hell of an adventure.
So as we say goodbye to the Silk Road, I wonder what the ancient traders would think of things like cell phones, computers, and overnight shipping.
Or what they would think of modern China and the incredible changes that are happening here.
So much has changed. But still, so much is the same.
And on this trip, we're getting to see it all.